Hello, this is Bruce Inoue and welcome to Success Pack. This is our first video introduction of Success Pack. We made this video as a companion to all the lessons that you've just uploaded right now. And I just happen to have the creator of Success Pack, Dr. Bob Rotolo. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Bob on your behalf to help you get through all of the lessons. Now, first of all, we want to congratulate you and thank you for coming aboard with the Success Pack program. We are in the process right now, we're brand new, we're in the process of creating a brand new Facebook page group, and we will be sending you an invite. It may be already on the download page where it'll give you a link to that. If not, you will be getting an email shortly that will tell you where to go to join the Facebook group. I highly suggest you get that because we're going to all stay interactive and we're going to all help each other out. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce Dr. Bob Rotolo, and I'm going to have him say a few words as the creator of the program. And then right after that, I'm going to go into a Q&A with him as far as how to utilize the Success Pack. Now I introduce to you Dr. Bob Rotolo.
Thank you, Bruce. This has been an exciting time for me working with you and developing this program so we can get this program out to as many people as possible and really develop a community where people can really focus on the subject of success for them in their lives, in their careers, and in their relationship. So this is a very effective medium for us to be able to work together in understanding what success is and how to make the most of this program. So thank you, Bruce, for working with me.
Great, it's my pleasure. Now, I'd like to go over the first lesson with you. Well, before we go to the first lesson, I just want to make sure that everybody had read the quick start guide that was in all the files that you received. Make sure that you read that first, and then of course you've got to this video as the link to get to that as the companion to this program. But now the question I have for Bob right now at this point in time is that we're going to ask him as far as how to start the program. Now, it's one thing to actually download lesson number 1, but now if you have read it, you will see that it's real easy in bite-sized pieces for you to actually read it, to reflect, and to implement it. But what I want to do right now on your behalf is to ask Bob that after you go through lesson number 1, and there'll be some fill in the blanks and stuff, and as well as reading and reflecting, how to actually use this program. And Bob, the first lesson is creating my own pathway for success. So when one of the students gets to that page and they actually open it and they read it, there's going to be some questions and there's going to be some fill in the blanks. How would you best suggest that the student utilizes for maximum impact?
Wonderful. Thank you, Bruce. I want all you people to understand that this is a very interactive program. And what we've done is designed a program so that you can really engage in the program. This is why we ask you to please commit yourself to a 60-day process, because it's like a person who wants to be able to be physically fit. You have to identify the program that's good for you, and then you have to engage in that program. So we're expecting the same there. I call this mental conditioning. Mental conditioning. It's going to help you to be able to think about success in a new way. The first lesson really identifies the concept of success and what it really means. And I want you to realize that this may be the first time in your life that you're being asked, what does success mean to you? And for you to reflect on that term in the context of your own life, your own situation, your own experiences. And each one of these lessons is going to help you to expand more your understanding of success and what you need to do to be successful, to define it for yourself, and to develop your own pathway. This is not an end in itself. It's a journey for success. So I'm really glad that you have taken the opportunity with the introductory information we gave you to recognize that you want to commit to this program. In each lesson, as we go through it, Bruce, I'll explain what to expect in each lesson. But I do ask you in a quick start is please commit 20 to 30 minutes a day if you can. That doesn't mean all at once. And it doesn't mean that you have to focus just exclusively on a program. because throughout the day, you'll have time for reflection. Read the material first, and then reflect on it and think about it, and think about how you will start interacting with that material all through the day for those 60 days. And I guarantee you, you will define success for yourself, and you'll feel so much better on developing that pathway for success for you. Go ahead, Bruce.
Okay, so in other words, Bob, as the student reads and reflects on lesson number 1, they should actually put that lesson down and actually kind of take some time to actually let this information absorb. And then after that, how long do you think they should take on that after lesson 1 before they actually advance to lesson number 2?
Very good question. Please think about this as again, 60-day program. And in the Quick Start Guide, I ask you to read through all the lessons. So take the time to do that. There are 8 lessons there. Read through all the material. It will give you an idea how it unfolds. So it'll say, okay, as I progress through this program, this is what I need to be able to do. Once you read through all the programs, you're going to go back and start working the exercises in program 1. And you write out your response. Don't qualify it. Don't try to say, what does he want, or what should I write? Write what flows. You're going to be journaling out, journaling meaning writing what comes into your mind over these 60 days. You're going to reflect on that. And what's going to happen is when you complete lesson 1, as you get into lesson 3 and 4, you're going to go back to lesson 1 as part of the 60-day conditioning program and say, you know, that statement now has a different meaning to me, and I want to change that. So you're going to be like an artist with a canvas. You're going to start this program with a blank canvas, and then every day you're going to put a base on that with some of your writing and some of your thinking. And as you go through, you're going to develop a beautiful, beautiful creation for yourself over those 60 days, where it will be substantive. It will have meaning to you, and it will guide you on your journey for success.
Great. So I would tend to think that each student in their own way, after filling out the blanks, and folks, don't be limited to just that one piece of paper with the lines on it. I have a feeling that what Dr. Bob is bringing up is that you have to let your mind flow of what the questions that were asked in each of the lessons, and actually just have a free flow, like he said, journaling of all the thoughts and everything of what Dr. Bob has in each lesson. So let's go to now lesson number 2, which is sense of purpose. Dr. Bob, could you please just briefly kind of summarize what this lesson is all about and the purpose of the lesson and what it's to achieve?
Well, very good, Bruce. In that lesson around purpose, it really helps you to define for yourself a framework for success. So a framework for success includes, well, if I was to envision myself being successful, what would it look like? What would it feel like? Who would I be with? So you're going to start exploring and creating that with yourself. And then you're going to be asking yourself the question why, the magic question, which has to do with purpose. Why am I here today, and where am I going? What do I see for myself? Now, Bruce, I want to let you know that although this program is designed for each individual to develop their own program, they're not doing this in isolation. We're going to have a lot of supports for them throughout the program. We're going to have a Facebook page, as you mentioned, and they'll be able to communicate with other people in the program. We want to develop a community of people who want to be successful in their lives and in their careers and in their relationships. And you will be able to interact with other people by asking questions, sharing your ideas, sharing your experiences. So this will be a rich, rich opportunity for you not to work in isolation, but to work with other people. Also, I want to suggest to you, each and every one of you, think about who you would like to have on this journey with you. Are there other close friends, a significant other, who you would like to help them to be successful and define success for themselves as you're defining it for yourself? So my suggestion is, if you can find 1 or 2 or 3 other people, invite them into the program and say, listen, I've found this program that I find really meaningful. I would love to share this with you. So they go on, sign up for the program, and you can do that together. It will be very enriching you will be able to support them, they'll be able to support you, and each one of you will define success for yourselves and support each other. I really encourage that, Bruce.
It's almost like having a workout buddy when you go to the gym or something like that. It kind of reinforces you're not out there by yourself, in other words. And actually, it helps to have like an accountability partner too, to kind of reinforce this. And when I think about this program, I think that you have to find a way to make it so compelling that there's no other way to think or do. You have to make this part of your everyday regimen. And basically what I'm bringing out here, the idea of creating a habit. So we're working on two principles here. Number one, we're working on the program that Dr. Bob had created. And then the other part of this program is to actually help develop the habit of thinking of success. Now, Bob, the next chapter, the next lesson that we have is the power of understanding. Could you briefly touch base on what that's all about?
Oh, very much so, Bruce. The power of understanding is so important in people to recognize the situation they're in. We're all in different family situations, different career tracks. We're in different environments. We live in different parts of the world. And that's part of our richness. And we have to recognize by understanding what our strengths and abilities are, because we want to optimize. See, success for me has to do with me first learning about myself, learning about my abilities, learning about my strengths, learning those things which are not strengths to me, which become obstacles or barriers. And then as I do that, and I understand the situation I'm in other words, the environment I'm in, I learn how to leverage that. I learn how to think positively about where I am and where I want to go. I learn to identify people around me who are supportive of me. So understanding the context of success for you, and some of you might say, well, listen, I don't want to be in this environment. Well, it enables you to take control over that and say, listen, I want to redefine for myself where I want to be, because that's my journey for success. That's very important. And then you begin to focus on a very positive way. How do I move from this situation to somewhere else? So understanding is one of the most important abilities to be able to develop when you're defining success for yourself.
Great. And then the next lesson we have is titled Conviction and Commitment. So how does this work into the whole lesson plan?
So important. And as I say, these are building blocks. In the second lesson, when we talk about purpose, when I talk about purpose in the context of what do I envision as being success in my life? Why do I want that? What are my core values? What do I value? What's important to me? What motivates me? And what strategies do I need to be able to activate to be able to achieve success? I break success down into goals. And so as you go through lesson 1, 2, and 3, lesson 4 that has to do with conviction and commitment is now you have something to be convicted about and something to make a commitment to yourself. That's going to reinforce you taking this path for 60 days. 60 days conditioning program isn't easy, but as you go through this process, you begin to say, oh my goodness, look at the realities, look at the possibility. I can become convicted because this is all about me and my future and how to be the best I can be in my present. So that conviction and commitment, I talk to you about how important it is, and then I show you how to build that conviction and commitment in yourself in that lesson.
Wonderful. And now the next lesson is the importance of courage.
Oh my goodness. That is so important, Bruce. You know, without courage in our life, we can't go anywhere. We become meek and powerless, and we think of ourselves, oh my goodness, poor me, you know? But to have courage is to be able to say, you know, I have to take that short little risk. But it's not really a risk because I calculated it. I know now. I know what makes me happy. I know what my abilities are. I know why I want to do this. And I will have the courage to take that step. And then, as I suggested to you, find others who want to support you in your success, and they will help you to have the courage to move forward.
So what I see throughout this course, Bob, is that in addition to learning and getting the aha moments within this program, is that you also, along the way of learning this, that you want the students to actually share as they're learning, is to actually share it too. So what that does to me is that reinforces what they've learned, and now they become kind of like teachers in themselves to help others come aboard and either learn with them, or maybe they even learn from the student as they're learning from this course. Is that correct?
You're absolutely right, Bruce. Really, I do a lot of work in helping people to understand leadership and develop themselves as leaders. And this is exactly what they're doing. As they become engaged in this program and they want to share with others, they then really, that is part of leadership, to help others to be successful and guide them. So yes, they learn how to do that very effectively. Thank you.
Okay, and then the next lesson is E, the letter E, to the fifth power. This sounds pretty intriguing. Could you explain, please?
Oh, it really is. The first thing about being successful is really to develop a very positive attitude about yourself and life around you. And that's really enthusiasm, the first E. I'm not going to take you through all the E's, but I want to let you know that every one of these 5 E's are empowering, and will help you to be successful. So in this program, you have knowledge, you have methodology, you have techniques, you have skill development, and all of that helps to build your commitment. It's all integrated in this program.
Okay, and then the next lesson is sharing your goals with others. So it looks like you're going to have to open up yourself a little bit to somebody else, and I'm assuming that this is probably so that you can be accountable to make sure that you go through with the intent of the lesson. Is that correct?
Very true. I'm glad that you mentioned earlier about the importance of accountability, personal accountability, and having someone there to support them. And that's why we encourage you to engage others in this process. And one of the strongest ways of meeting our own goals is to share that process with others, our goals, for a number of reasons. One important reason to share your goal is that you're actually making a public statement. It reinforces commitment. It reinforces conviction. It also helps people to give you some immediate feedback and say, why that goal? Why is that important to you? So it answers the why question. So sharing your goals are very important, and we spend time on that. And you're going to be excited with what you're going to learn about goal setting in this program and how to do it effectively.
Great. And that brings us to the final lesson, number 8. Now, just so you know, everybody that's out there, the page that you had seen to actually enroll in this program, we showed you 7 lessons. We're actually giving you this as a bonus. This is lesson number 8 that wasn't stated on the page that you got through to this lesson. And this last and final lesson is called Support Others in Their Quest for Success. So Bob, could you elaborate on that, please?
Very true, Bruce. You see, we are social beings. We don't go through world by ourselves. And matter of fact, any of us who have done any teamwork on athletic teams, played music, work anywhere where we do it with others. We're social beings. And so we have to be concerned about other people's success and how they perceive it. We have to be supportive of them, and so they can be supportive of us. And this talks a lot about that, about the importance of teamwork and supporting others. And again, what you are learning here is a seamless system of success. Every one of these 8 lessons help you to understand it. And it's a foundation piece. What you're going to find is that as you and I develop a relationship, and as we develop relationships in others in this program, I've been doing this, helping others be successful in their lives, in their careers, and in their relationships for over 25 years. This can be, if you wish it to be, a beginning of having someone who is very supportive and interested in your well-being. You see, my key purpose in life is to help others to be successful. And through their success, I derive my success. And this formula is the first foundation piece in helping others. I've used it for years in coaching people to define success for themselves, create a pathway, and being able to develop ways to do that effectively with others. So Bruce, I'm really kind of excited that people have made the investment in this program by the initial purchase of the program. Now I want them to make the personal commitment to the program, invest themselves in 60 days. And I think we're going to have a blast together with how you and I, Bruce, have developed tools and methods for them to really engage in this program. Thank you, Bruce, for your time, for joining me today, too.
Sure. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us as well. This is just an introduction video to the program itself. And feel free to replay this video as many times as you can, because this is a companion to the actual lesson transcripts that you're actually going to print out for yourself. And like Dr. Bob said, this is a program that has to be learned and used in a 60-day period. This is to guarantee that you're going to actually make the thoughts, the words, the reflection, everything that you're taking from this program to be habit, to actually hardwire it into your brain so that you are a totally transformed person from this day forward. Don't forget to join our Facebook group. It's a brand new group that we've just started up, and like I said, we will supply the links to you. Also, don't forget to enter your name and your email address to join our email list so that we can give you updates. Now, for each month that goes by, we're going to actually have a webinar, a 1 hour minimum webinar of actually implementing and actually using these techniques that you're learning as far as your total transformational process. So on behalf of Dr. Bob and myself, Bruce, we thank you so much. We very appreciate you coming on board, and we know that we can transform your life to total success. And thank you much.